Welcome back, everybody. As I told you guys, I was going to put out a 26 Ford Super Duty video and got some new news that unfortunately some things are going to be pushed now to 2027. But again, 25 is not going to be changing much, and there's going to be a very short ordering window before they start pumping out the 26s. Again, you want to know what the changes are. So we do have an actual photo of what that truck is going to look like, but I do want to walk around and show you just Loki again. So when you look at the picture, you can see that the contrast and differences are not going to be much. As you guys see here, this grill with Loki, I like it. I don't necessarily like the big bulbousness of it. I do like that big C-clamp looking running lamp. However, most people contested this type of grill. All the grills on the 23, 24 are now going to be 25. And a lot of people, this being the trimmer, it has the shorter air dam, which is a good looking air dam for this truck, but the most of them have the big snowplow here. So really, those are going to be your big changes for 2026. Now, of course, color palette and everything will change, but Ford did revise this. But what I want you to pay attention to is the hood. That in essence is probably going to basically be the same. You'll look at the pictures, and the rest of the profile of the truck is going to stay the same. They will probably redo the taillights. But as you guys know, from what was it, from 99 to geez into the teens, they ran the same paddle handles and everything like that. So don't expect anything crazy like that. The big news, you know, they'll refresh the tailgate probably a little bit, how they list out the Super Duty, and change the taillights a smidge. I would anticipate wheel options change a smidge for that. Mirrors stay the same. Everything's going to stay the same. When a lot of these manufacturers come out to their new changes, guys, they're not going to reinvent the wheel. Now, remember in 2020 when the F-150 came out and then they refreshed it in 2024? Not a huge difference, okay? They tweaked the grill, they tweaked that and stuff like that. And they're not going to do away with this for 25. 26 is right on that 3-year mark, so it's a good time for the mid-model refresh. But I don't think, once you look at these pictures, you're going to be blown away by the rest of the truck. Although I will tell you that the new grill is sick. It is a very attractive grill, and it does clean up this front end that a lot of people hate. So now that we're back in the office, guys, again, this big news from Ford was going to be about the new hybrid Super Duty. Now, I think you might be slightly disappointed when you hear the news that it's potentially going to be and how it's going to be made. Now, as we know, or if you didn't know, Ford has basically moved a lot of extra Super Duty production to Oakville plant, which is in Ontario, Canada. And that plant is going to be the plant that basically not only produces the hybrid Super Duty, but also standard Super Duties. And I think that's good because we all know, I'm not saying that the F-Series is the best selling truck, period. But analytics say, and that says that they are at least in the top 2, okay? And we can all agree that Ford sells a lot of trucks. That doesn't mean they're the best truck, doesn't mean anything like that. It just means they sell a lot of pickups. So now the big news about the Ford Super Duty hybrid. Now we all hoped that it would be the 7.3 Godzilla that got that hybrid plant, and we also thought that it might be the 6.8. Now, when you get a hybrid truck, you're going to lose some payload because it's going to have a big battery pack. All right, not a ton, but some. Especially when you're in the heavy duty trucks, it's not going to amount to too much. If that battery pack is going to be extremely useful, it does need to be big enough, so you will lose some payload. Here is the kicker. The reports say that now 2026 is not going to be the year of the Ford Super Duty hybrid, and more than likely to be pushed back to 2027. Even bigger news, they're actually thinking about using the PowerBoost 3.5. Now, as you guys know, the Godzilla has a cast iron block. It's a commercial use engine. It's very similar to the Chevy LAT. It's a cast iron block, and those blocks can take the heat that when you're towing that the engine produces. And the 3.5 PowerBoost is an aluminum block. And I think that that might be a huge turnoff, so I'm hoping that that is not the case. But that is what is being reporting out right now. MSN put out a new article on it, and it's basically saying it's probably going to be a tuned up 3.5 PowerBoost engine producing over 430 horsepower. Torque ratings on the PowerBoost alone, I think, were over 500, so 575, I think. I can't remember. It was a great half-ton engine, and for what half-tons can do, that does fit the mark. But at the end of the day, if that is the choice, gosh, I don't know about that. The Godzilla already produces a ton of heat when towing, and although they say it's normal, could you imagine doing it with a twin turbo hybrid V6 in a Super Duty? I don't know if that's the right angle to go. You guys can sound off in the comments on that. But without further ado, let's look at what the 2027 Ford changed and did not change. So as we take a gander here, guys, you can see those wheel choices are the ones we currently have. Door handle paddles, mirrors, and everything is the same. Side venting where it says F250. You can barely see the back end, but this is not a demo. This is not somebody's AI generated faux pas thing. So that's what we can kind of take a look at. Now, the big thing is check out the grill. Now, I think this is a handsome looking grill. They redid the air dam, so it's still gigantic. You still plow snow with it. But I think it's a good looking lower air dam. And as you look at the grill right here, very reminiscent of the GMC from a couple years ago. So that is interesting. And you can see that the hood hasn't changed. Nothing's really changed there. So if you're looking for a full model refresh, that's not going to be it. And then obviously going back, this is the current generation grill. So obviously take it for what it's worth. You see what you like. I actually like the bumper on the 2324 better than the bumper on the 27. This has a lot of cool angles and stuff like that, but it just seems like it's a square or more bumper just sticking out. So not necessarily cleaned up there, but I do like the grill. Again, hood hasn't changed any. So there it is, guys. Again, I think we'll probably get that type of grill in 26, but again, I was hoping the hybrid was coming in 26, and it does not sound like that's going to be the case. And again, we know that Ford, when they bring something out, it tends to have issues. Now, the Power Boost has been out for a while, so if that's their angle to use that engine, great. It's established, it's doing great, it's doing whatever it is. But that is not a commercial grade engine, and I just don't know if that's going to be the right angle at that. It'll definitely help with fuel economy. It'll definitely make the Super Duty for your average person that's towing once in a while. I think that that's going to be good, but can that now stand up in the realm of these heavy duty trucks? So again, 2027 is more than likely slated for the hybrid. 2026 is going to be the year the Oakville plant opens and starts producing Super Duties, and I do believe that that's when we get a mid-model slight refresh. Again, the truck is selling well enough now. I don't think they are going to jump over the moon and do that. If you guys want to know what the 2025 Chevy Silverado HD looks like, I did snag one of those. I will link that down in the video below. Before you go, though, please make sure you smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, and the notification bell so you know I'm posting new content. I do have a Ram video coming out on the 2025, and I think we'll all just be bored, and maybe some people will be like, why even bother? Ram, I mean, you just made it uglier. So we have some pictures of that, and I'll link that video down below. As always, appreciate you guys being here. Catch you on the next one.